he's no different. But when you've had a season like he's had, breaking records, obviously, you mentioned the goals, I mean, it's absolutely fabulous. I don't think that Liverpool could, in my personal opinion, go on to next season with as much confidence if you didn't have Mohamed Salah.
We are aware of the fact that the last time this club won the league, it was COVID time. So everybody is looking forward to Sunday. But we know that there's still a job to be done, and that's at least 1 point. And that's what we know, and hopefully our fans know as well when they come to the stadium, that they support us in the best possible way they can, which they've done the whole season, and are aware of the fact that we still need a point, and that's something we are definitely aware of here inside this building. So it's a nice game to look forward to, but it's also a responsibility we have for Sunday. I enjoy to go to Anfield every single day, but the moment the referee blows his whistle, and even before that when I do my meetings, it's of course the focus is on trying to get the point or the win over the line. Normally we're only settling for a win, and a point is not enough. So the moment you enjoy is mostly when the referee blows his whistle. These are the 3, 4 or 5 minutes that you're really happy when you walk off the pitch. Then you walk into a dressing room where you always see 1 or 2 players that are not as happy as I am because they haven't played. So then already you start to think, oh yeah, okay, this has to be managed again as well. So then I need to go to the media. So it's mostly 3 or 4, 5 minutes that you're really happy. And then normal managerial life starts again. So yeah, enjoying is what you do after the referee has blown his whistle.
Classy as ever there from Arne Slot, and I think he's impressed everybody with the way that he fitted into his performances and the way that he has been as a manager at Liverpool. I don't think anyone expected him to move into the role that Jurgen Klopp left quite so quickly and have the success that he has done.
I mean, fabulous to see the job that he's done, the way he's managed to motivate his players, especially after the disappointment and the departure of Jurgen Klopp, who was a tremendous figure at Anfield and obviously at the training ground and to the city of Liverpool in general. How are you going to replace that greatness? Well, it looks like they've brought another great in through the door. The job was obviously there for him to go and have success this season because the foundation was already built within the squad. And I recognise that it's not necessarily so easy to walk into the door, but if the players believe in you and you can get them to buy into your tactical approach to the game and put a smile on their face, you'll get a top-class performance. And it was not necessarily just individual performances. In the early part of the season, except for the game against Nottingham Forest, it was excellent from Liverpool. I thought they were so dynamic. They played with a smile on their face. Every single player had a role to play and understood their role and believed in what Slot was selling. So to get the best performances out of your top players, there's 1 or 2 who obviously could improve, especially in that striker's position. But Mohamed Salah was on board early on. And if you look at the closing stages of last campaign under Klopp, he was not happy, Mohamed Salah. Coming into a contract year, it was very important for Slot to manage players appropriately, and he did an excellent job. Double figures, obviously, clearly, 27 and 18 with goals and assists for Mohamed Salah. Record-breaking season across the board from Liverpool. He's done a brilliant job.
As we said at the top, Liverpool have a long history of winning English League titles, but only one of them has come in the Premier League era, and there'll be a lot of fans inside the stadium at Anfield at the weekend who don't remember those, weren't alive when they won those titles a lot earlier in their history. And the last time they won the Premier League was during those COVID seasons. There wasn't fans inside the stadium. And as Slot mentioned there, this is going to be a special moment to share it, the players, the coaching staff, everyone involved with Liverpool, to get to share it with the fans too. Yeah,
it's kind of crazy. You go into a moment like this where you understand that all you need is a draw against Spurs. It's a nice position to be in. And I think it's also a great position for the Liverpool fans who have obviously been through a lot with Jurgen Klopp, right? He's brought tremendous success, consistent success, one trophy or another, not necessarily back-to-back trophies in a single campaign, which I think is not too far away from Liverpool if they keep this core group together. It's fabulous to see. And I've really been impressed with, obviously, individual performances. And also, if you look at the way players have handled their contract situations, Mohamed Salah, I think he's handled it pretty well, although at some point controversial, dropped in his form, but yet now starting to bring it back up in this big moment. For the supporters, it was important that those players who were in a contract year still believed that they could win a Premier League title. For all of those fans who missed out, I lived in and around the city of Liverpool for 3 years of my life. Great people. Blue or red, doesn't matter which team they support, but so passion, so much enthusiasm you'll never see anywhere else around the world. It is fabulous to see Liverpool fans get this moment to enjoy watching their team at Anfield lift a Premier League trophy. It's going to be special. But just to put it into context, how good a season it's been for Liverpool, they're 42 points above where Tottenham are right now in the Premier League table, which tells you one or two things, right? Tottenham have been poor, but Liverpool have been great.
Absolutely right. You mentioned the contract situations there and how Mohamed Salah as one of those players, the big three really, who did come out publicly and spoke about the contract situation. How do you think you would judge the way that the club and Arne Slot played it? Because they kind of kept their cards relatively close to their chest, didn't they?
Yeah, and I think obviously what happens with Mohamed Salah, you saw obviously situations being handled differently. Virgil van Dijk didn't want to talk about his contract situation necessarily in public. And then you obviously saw Trent trying to keep it quiet as possible. Mohamed Salah at times took it to a public stage where he did some interviews and social media platforms where he said some controversial things. And I think that's what business is. At the end of the day, we all know how to get a deal done, right? That's what you've got to do. Sometimes you've got to try and master the arts behind the scenes to manipulate a way to get the contract over the finish line. It's simply said, it's human beings. He's no different. But when you've had a season like he's had, breaking records, obviously you mentioned the goals, I mean, it's absolutely fabulous. I don't think that Liverpool could, in my personal opinion, go on to next season with as much confidence if you didn't have Mohamed Salah. I think if you had Virgil van Dijk, you're in a good position. If you lost him, it's a tremendous loss for them defensively, obviously. But I think Mohamed Salah is the key because of what he does offensively. They haven't had a proper goal-scoring striker, Liverpool. So if you had Mohamed Salah scoring the goals he's scored, it's really remarkable. And obviously, there's Premier League records that are out there. With this contract extension, he may end up going on and having another 20-plus goal season where he could potentially put himself into a candidate of chasing the top three strikers who have scored goals in the Premier League history. And I know Alan Shearer obviously leads the way.
Looking ahead to next season, if Trent Alexander-Arnold does move on, how worried will they be about replacing what he brings to that team?
I mean, everyone's telling me that Conor Bradley's going to step into that position, but Trent, to me, brings a different dynamic. He is offensive-minded first, and I love that in today's game. The generation is just so different. They always look forward every single time they get possession of the ball. We talk so much about how poor Trent is defensively. I mean, he's playing in a right-back position, but nowadays, what is a fullback? A fullback's not a defensive player anymore. A fullback and your quality is about what you do offensively. There are a few better in this game on a dead ball situation, passing the ball, and also finishing. Obviously got 23 goals, and the goal that he scored against Leicester was the first time he scored one with his left foot, which was pretty cool. But it'll be a big moment for him. Obviously, a Liverpool boy getting to celebrate a Premier League title with his fans, with his people. I'm really excited for him with what he does in his future going forward. I'm disappointed for Liverpool, but I think Liverpool will be okay. And in many ways, they've probably put wheels in motion understanding where Trent was in his contract situation all along. So if they don't bring someone in and it is Conor Bradley, they're happy with that situation. But I think they do make a move at some point to bring another player in through the door on that right-hand side to put a bit of pressure on that right full-back position. But Trent will go on and do great things, there's no doubt about it, and he's already a Liverpool great.
And then, as we look ahead to next season, let's play a little game and predict how they're going to get on in the various competitions.
Okay.
What do you think?
Oh, man. Well, listen, I think it's been a great season for them so far, but if I look right now where I think they're going to finish in the Premier League, I think success is obviously very difficult in the Premier League. This season it's been remarkable. Do they start off the same way? If they get off to a great start, brilliant. But I think Arsenal will improve. They'll get that striker, and I do believe that Manchester City will be better. Therefore, Liverpool have won the league comfortably because the other two teams just simply didn't compete this year. In the Champions League, I don't think they'll win it this year, next year. I think they're obviously maybe 3 players away from being able to compete for a Champions League. The teams around them, obviously PSG took care of business against them at Anfield. They're a class above, in my personal opinion, with depth. Liverpool need to add depth, and one position has to be that striker's position. I still think they need another centre-back in as well to add some sort of support, because Virgil can only go for so long. He can't play every single game. FA Cup, I fancy Arsenal to win the FA Cup, and then, of course, Carabao Cup. I'll give them a trophy. That's the trophy I'm going to give them. That's it.
I've got them winning one trophy next season, but guess which one it is? It's the big one, the Champions League. I think they're going to do it. I've got a feeling.
No way.
I completely agree with you. The Premier League, I think the other clubs who faltered this season and they profited from, I'm going to say Manchester City. I think they're going to come back. I think they'll have a summer of rebuilding. And I mean, you could pick Arsenal in that group, maybe even Newcastle. Some of the other teams are going to improve. Liverpool profited a bit, didn't they, from it being a relatively weak season in the Premier League in terms of consistency at the top. So they're not going to win the Prem. time. But I think that they're going to go a bit better in the Champions League next season. They'll learn from some of their mistakes. They were good against PSG. I mean, they're only just knocked out. And if they do manage to add a few players to the squad over the summer, the fact that they've kept Mo Salah and Virgil van Dijk is going to be such a boost for them.
Let's just put it into perspective. Where do they need to add to win a Champions League title? Okay, PSG took care of business with them. They were excellent in the group stage, so they took that seriously. So experience is clearly there. But they do need to improve on the squad. So what do they need to add?
Well, I think they need to improve, look into the transfer market, and also keep some of the players, because I think Konate, there's a few clubs have been looking at him. There's talk about him potentially signing a new deal. That's got to be one that they, get that done. Keep him in the side.
It's got to be a striker.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. They need to add some more goals apart from Mo Salah, because if he has a quiet period, like he did a little bit earlier on in the season, then who else have they got who's going to bang the goals in? I think that's the worry for Liverpool, is if they're not coming from Salah, someone like Nunez and the others aren't contributing enough goals. And then I don't think they're going to win the FA Cup, and I don't think they're going to win the Carabao Cup. So
yeah, interesting. But I will say this, their midfield is excellent. And it's going to continue to get better and better. And if you can build upon that spine that they've got with Salah, obviously, with what they've got with Virgil van Dijk and a very good goalkeeper, you're going to be all right.